Good afternoon, football fans. You're live with Third Down with Morgan Holder. I am Morgan.
And I am the awesomely handsome Holder,
You are going way too
born
far.
in 1964.
You are
What?
you are going way too far with that handsome shit.
Do you know how popular I was in high school and in the military?
That was 100 years ago. I think you was alive when
You
Jesus
know, we
was
don't need
alive.
to, we don't need to hear anything from somebody that's still wearing diapers.
I'm not wearing diapers. I'm wearing underwear.
How would you know?
Anywho, I'm gonna get the show started. This is good. This is the best show that's unedited and uncut out there about football. I want to give my shout outs out to Undisputed with one of the greatest tight ends ever in Shannon Sharp. First Take with the best sports analyst Stephen A. Smith. And Good Morning Football, the best breaking news football.
I'll agree with Good Morning Football. I mean, I like Stephen A., but the rest, I don't know. Michael Irvin is in trouble. There's just so much going on with that show. So,
I named one guy. I said because of Stephen A. I didn't say because of Michael Irvin.
he's part of the show.
Is
He
he
got fired, but you know.
is he still doing cocaine or is he done with that since playing days?
Well, last thing I heard was when he got busted with the crack pipe, he was holding it for a friend that was in rehab.
Excuses.
But
Excuses.
that's what he said.
Excuses.
Let's get down to the real shows. Pat McAfee, the number one show is The Pivot, which they recently had Kenny Pickett on the show and did a whole hour with him, and it was fantastic.
Of course.
Also, like Get Up with Greeny. Greeny is the man. He's a Steelers fan. And let's get this show started because it was quite a draft in 2023.
I didn't get to watch the draft because that was the day of my surgery, but I watched some highlights and read some stories and whatnot for that. But as far as I'm concerned, I think a lot of teams did really well in the draft. Some teams could have done better. Some was a head scratcher. And I'm pretty sure you can agree on with me with some of that stuff. But I want to before we get to the draft. Holder, I know you're going to slap me when you see me because I'm about to bring this up. But last week, before the draft, Aaron Rodgers got traded to the Jets. That's the start of a new era out there in New York. And not to mention, they also just signed Randall Cobb as well. How well do you think the Jets will be next year?
I know the Jets will be targeted by a lot of teams because they did all this shopping and got, Rodgers got some of his wish list players. I think they're going to be the most scrutinized team. But
I think that defense.
In the East, there's going to be some teams that are going to want to put them in their place, like Miami and Buffalo.
And I told you, beginning of the show during the offseason, I told you if the Jets get Aaron Rodgers, the Jets will win that division. I'm still keeping my word. I think the Jets will have a shot at winning that division. I mean, their defense is still stout with Sauce Gardner. He's a stud. He's out there still. And anywhere Aaron Rodgers goes, I believe he will make them better. Not a championship better caliber team, but better as in playoff better. So
I'm not. I think Buffalo still hold down that division.
I don't think so. Because here's the thing:
the Jets have it. They have to prove it.
The Jets beat Buffalo. They beat them last year.
Aaron Rodgers, you have to remember that Aaron Rodgers is a head case.
That's true. Right? That is true. That's why Danica Patrick left him.
New with the Jets. It's not like he can make the noise that he did in Green Bay because he was there for a decade. Like what? 16 years.
16, absolutely. And do you think he is like quote unquote player / coach / owner because he gave them a wish list, they went out and got what he wanted, and all of a sudden he got traded?
I think the Jets were desperate to get a quarterback, That's why they gave him all that stuff. But see, now, because they did that, now he has to show and prove, right? So,
and here's my thing.
If that defense holds up and that offense struggles, right? Because now Aaron Rodgers is coming into a whole new system.
And not to mention, we talked about this last year too. AFC is stacked with quarterbacks. I don't think he should have. I think he should have stayed in NFC. NFC is kind of weak at the moment. They're not as good as the AFC teams, and I'm pretty sure you can agree with me. I think he should have stayed because now his numbers are probably going to drop a little bit because he's going to see defense that he hasn't seen in the NFC. That's in AFC. Like you got to,
Yeah, and I take into account too. He's not in the prime of his career.
Oh, absolutely, right? Absolutely.
He's out there. He's playing against a lot of young, hungry defenses, right? So they didn't get the tackle they wanted because Pittsburgh moved up in front of them to grab the tackle, the offensive tackle. So it's still kind of questionable on his blind side.
I think that they're still questionable. I think it's still questionable, period, because what does that leave with Zach Wilson? Zach Wilson isn't bad. He was getting in his groove. He was getting there. He had 1 year to start because he didn't start his rookie year. He did really well last year. So why are you taking all of that from him and giving it to somebody like Aaron Rodgers, who's been in the league for 16 plus years?
Well, my recommendation for Zach Wilson is to sharpen his game with the reps he's going to get in practice. He's not going to get a lot because Aaron Rodgers is susceptible to injury.
That's
right?
true.
He's had major injuries, broken collarbones, and things like that. So Zach Wilson should keep his game sharp and improve until that moment comes, because I really don't think Aaron Rodgers is going to finish the season.
Do you see the Jets maybe trading Zach Wilson, or do you think they're holding on to him?
I hope not. I mean, who else do you have to back him up? I mean,
honestly,
they got Zach Wilson to be the future, right?
They did, but then they go behind his back and trade for Aaron Rodgers.
Draft a guy like Rodgers to mentor him.
That's true, but is because Aaron Rodgers reminds me of Brett Favre, and I mean that respectfully, because look at what Brett Favre did. He didn't want to retire. Aaron Rodgers had to back him up so many years. He gets traded to the Jets. Aaron Rodgers started, right? But look where Aaron Rodgers is at right now. He's with the Jets. What team did Brett Favre go to after the Packers? The Jets.
And then Minnesota. So you may get Aaron Rodgers.
I don't want his old ass. And I say that respectfully. I'd rather have Zach Wilson.
Look at the way history is rolling for the Green Bay quarterback.
That's true. That's true. Speaking of Green Bay, real quick, and want to move on to the draft. Do you think Jordan Love is going to start for Green Bay and do really well, or do you think he's going to be a trash quarterback?
I think Jordan Love is going to start, but I think Jordan Love may have a Malik Willis type season, or what's the kid at Lance? Is that
Trey
Lance?
He
didn't start out really good when he hit the field.
That's true. That's true.
The whole transition thing, these defenses are so fast and they disguise so well. I mean, if you're not ready and you're not like a film studier, you're going to struggle.
And here's the thing with Jordan Love, he didn't get a lot of reps because you had Aaron Rodgers to back up, right? Aaron Rodgers, he didn't need to play, the last game when they lost against the Lions. And in the fourth quarter, you're down. Go ahead and let Jordan Love, get some reps. You already knew you was going to leave.
I think the only thing that Green Bay is going to have a challenge with is finishing the season in front of the Bears, because Minnesota and Detroit are going to dominate that division this season.
I have to respectfully agree with you. Me being we'll talk about that in a little bit, but me and Minnesota Twin, I think the Lions is going to win that division just because who the Lions got in the draft this year. And I say that respectfully.
Quarterback, dude.
The Lions, they got Jordan Goff.
And I think he didn't.
That's what I'm saying. The Lions are going to win that division respectfully.
Jordan Goff.
Or Jared Goff, my bad. Jared Goff, my bad. I got medication for my shoulder, my bad. Anyways, Jared Goff, and that's what I'm saying. Respectfully, Lions will win that division. Respectfully, win that division because who they got in the draft? They got Brian Branch, who's a stud on defense, right? Even though they lost Swift, but they added a running back from Alabama who's decent. They added some key pieces that they need. A tight end. So, respectfully, the Lions are going to be scary. They got Jake Campbell from Iowa. He's a linebacker, and they got
if the Lions do not impress this year, they're going to have. I'm just going to go with the curse.
I have to agree with you.
I have to agree with you. Cleveland is.
I have to agree with you. I mean, again, they got so much talent on that defensive side. It's going to be scary.
They got talent on both sides of the ball. I mean,
offensively,
with everything that they've done, they're balanced offensively and defensively. Defensively, they should be getting a lot of 3 and outs.
Oh, definitely. Right? I have to agree with you on the defense side.
The offense should keep the defense rested so they can perform. That team is well balanced right now.
Because all you have is
on paper.
On paper, yes, but all you have on the wide outside is Brown. They let go of DJ Chalk. They I mean, don't get me wrong. They got and
if you got a defense, if you got a great defense, your offense just has to be average. So you don't have to be spectacular.
Okay, I agree with you, but what in that sense? What of this Lions and playing a team like say the Bengals, who Bengals is awesome on defense and offense, or the Pittsburgh Steelers, who's going to be great on defense and great on offense? What do you say about the offense then against that great defense?
I mean, it's just for me. The question is Jared Goff. If Jared Goff can be consistent,
they did,
right? Because we know when he's terrible, he's terrible.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And when he's on a roll, he's impossible.
And see, here's the thing. I think that's why the Lions got, and I think that's why the Lions went out and got Hendon Hooker from Tennessee, is to keep Goff on his feet. Hey, if you mess up, Hooker's going to be in. And I think that's what they did in that draft.
Yeah, they did good in the draft.
Oh, I can't complain.
They didn't do great, but they did pretty good. Because
they
did good in free agency, and they did pretty good in the draft.
Oh, absolutely. That team's going to be really, really good. And maybe it's coaching. Maybe it can come down to coaching. I don't know. But we'll see. We'll find out with the Lions. Another team that actually I think did really well in the draft, and I think they should have done more, though, it is the Bears in that division. It is the Bears. I mean, offensively, they got an offensive tackle from Tennessee, Darnell Wright, who's really good. But they didn't do too much on defense at all. Like, some of these players are head scratchers. Like, why would you pick some of these players on defense?
Hey, you know what? Maybe the scouts saw something. Or maybe that's what was available at the time. I mean, did they have other options they could have went in the order? Because they gave a lot of picks away because teams were calling to move up.
Yeah, you're right. And I do know they made some trades with Carolina.
And teams do that. They may trade back to they may have traded a couple of trades to get a couple more players, further down the line. Because if you're a team in position to trade, or a team that can trade up, you're going to ask for multiple draft picks, right?
Right.
You're going to say, well, give me your 33rd and your 42nd, and we'll let you move up, right?
Right.
So if you get 2 for 1, that's a win, and then the rest is up to coaching, right? You get the players; they're young, they're eligible for the draft, so they have to be pretty good. Now you got to coach them up.
Oh, you're right.
That's where a lot of players that were good failed, right?
Right.
The guys in college, what's the big quarterback went to the Raiders. The Ryan Lee.
Oh, Jamarcus Russell.
Jamarcus. I think it's Jamarcus was his name.
Jamarcus Russell, yeah. He can't. Oh,
Russell, I mean, so
he was good in college.
when
I
these
don't know what
players
happened.
get to the league, man, it's up to the coaches to fine tune these guys.
And I don't think the Bears' coaching staff is going to fine tune any players at this moment. And I could be wrong.
So right now, I'm going to put you in the spotlight. Do you think the Bears will be compatible within the next 5 years? Or competitive?
No, absolutely not. And the reason why I say that,
really, 5 years.
The reason why I say that, the quarterback they have, we don't know if he's going to last there or not. They might say, okay, we'll give we'll okay you for your 5th-year contract, right? Or he might ask for a trade, or he might leave in free agency. I can't say yes, but I can say no as of right now.
So okay, well,
the Bears hasn't been that good since 2006 when they lost against the Colts in the Super Bowl.
Didn't they give Fields a couple of weapons? Well, Claypool says
they have DJ Moore.
Worthiness.
He has DJ Moore, but nothing on defense. They let go of Smith last year. They let go of some defensive backs.
That's kind of a team that's going to rebuild, right? If you're giving away, and I think by them letting him go, didn't they get some draft picks for him?
Yeah, but they didn't use him right. They didn't use him right, and that's my opinion.
I don't know what they dealt. Maybe they did a draft pick for this year and next year.
So they got, with their first pick, with the 10th overall pick, they got Darnell Wright, who's offensive tackle. 53rd pick, they got
out of Tennessee, right?
Yep.
Out of Tennessee?
Out of Tennessee, and then on the 53rd pick, they got Dexter Senior out of Florida, who's a defensive tackle. And then they went out on number 56 and got Stevenson, Miami Hurricane defensive back. 64, they got Zach Pickens, another defensive tackle from South Carolina. And they got a 115, they got a running back, Johnson from Texas. I don't know who that guy is. I don't know how good he is.
Pretty good. Pretty good. They had 2 running backs out there.
Tyler Scott they got Tyler Scott at 133 from Cincinnati, who's decent. He's not consistent, but he's decent. And then they got Noah Swell. By the way, his brother plays for the Lions, but they got Noah Swell, linebacker from Oregon, who's decent at 148. Then they got Terrell Smith and as a defensive back from Minnesota at 165. But these last 2 picks are head scratchers. Kennesaw State defensive tackle Travis Bell at 218. There's plenty of people still left. Why would you go and get him? And then a strong safety out of Stanford, Kendall Williamson at number 258. Again, there's still plenty of people that was left in that draft that they could have went and got. Those 2 picks was head scratchers.
Maybe they have something. When teams like you and I won't know because we're not in those draft rooms, right?
That's true. But
these teams, some of them get some of these players maybe because of one skill that they have, right? And maybe they're going to, who knows, try a new defense. Like the Steelers, they're big on these 3 big safety formations, right?
Right.
So maybe these guys are tweaking their defense a little differently than other teams.
I don't think it's going to work.
I mean, they don't make sense to us.
Here's my thing, and Holder, you can agree to disagree or agree whatever you want to do. I think the Bears are going to finish 3rd in the NFC North this year. They're going to finish 3rd. It's going to come down to either the Lions or Minnesota winning that division. Green Bay will be in 5th or 4th. They're going to be in dead last in that division.
I don't know. I'll leave it as a toss up. I mean, you know more about those teams in your division, but
I just don't see it. I just don't
Bears
see. I don't see the Bears being quite as a threat as the Lions in Minnesota. I don't see
Green Bay.
I don't see Green Bay being a threat at all without a running back, a quarterback.
Yeah.
So
between the Bears and Green Bay,
I think the Bears will be in third.
It's not a big deal because the two teams at the bottom of the division, are irrelevant, right?
Oh, absolutely.
So maybe those teams may tank and try to get more future draft picks.
Maybe.
So like when teams are ripping their own guts out and getting rid of basically foundational players, key players, clearly they're rebuilding. They're trying to get something. They're trying to get something new in there. Now think about this. And I'm 100% that you're going to agree. The Jets went young. Jacksonville went young.
They did until they got Aaron Rodgers.
Right. I'm just saying before that.
And Jacksonville and Jets was going to be a threat.
Those teams were young. They built through the draft. And
it was going to be a threat. And I think Jacksonville's still going to be a threat. Jets could be.
That's what the Bears and Green Bay want to do. They want to, because it's a copycat league.
Yeah, I can see that. And I guarantee it's what the Lions, because the Lions are fairly young, because Jared Goff's in his 20s still?
Well, the only thing that bothers me about that is some teams were successful and other teams just kind of fell off, like the Chargers, right? What happened?
Coaching. I have been coaching. I've been coaching because they got so much talent over there in and over there. I'm not gonna say San Diego no more. Los Angeles now. They got so much talent over there, and
I don't know what happened.
I was telling you, and I was telling you last year, that's the team to beat. The Chargers was a team to beat last year, and look what happened: injuries, coaching, something went on over there.
Yeah. So the Jets and Detroit thrived.
Oh, absolutely.
Right. And
Jacksonville.
Very impressive. So maybe Green Bay and Chicago are looking to go that route and build through the draft.
Maybe.
If you're bold enough, because remember they had Khalil Mack too.
Yeah, they did. They traded him to the Chargers, though. The Bears did.
So if you have Khalil Mack and Roquan Smith, I mean, what more could you ask for?
It was the coaching staff.
The core, right? The core of that
defense. And they had Kyle Fuller at defensive back.
Yeah, they let him. So I mean, there's clearly they made mistakes.
Oh, big mistakes.
And I think they're trying to recover. But
speaking of
clearly it hurt them in the long run.
Oh, definitely.
I think they're thinking about building around fields right now.
Maybe. But speaking of mistakes, we're going to jump on the line here and head to the AFC North. The Ravens. Do you think they draft bust, or do you think they actually got people to help out Lamar Jackson?
I don't really care.
You should. That's a rival team.
I don't care. I don't think anybody in that division is going to sweep anybody other than the Browns or get swept.
I hate to disagree with you because you're right. I think the Browns will get swept, but I'm looking at the Baltimore's draft. I think they did pretty well. I think they got some key.
You're on the Lamar Jackson bandwagon.
I like Lamar Jackson.
I know you do.
I'm glad they got.
You're on the bandwagon.
I was hoping he would to Minnesota, but it didn't work out. He signed his contract and he's staying put. But I mean, minus Odell Beckham Jr., I think they got some real good pieces to be a threat.
Yeah, they'll finish third in the division.
I have to agree because I like the Bengals in that division right now with Pittsburgh, because the Bengals they did a really good. Also, they did really well in that draft. They went straight up, got a lot of defensive pieces. They got some wide receivers, but mainly some defensive pieces. So
yeah, I'm not impressed with them.
I know who you're impressed with.
Them in overtime with Mitchell Trubisky. Okay, Mitchell Trubisky.
We don't bring up his name on the show.
And because our defense is going to be better this year than it was last year, and they're still talking about maybe re-signing Miles Jack.
We'll talk about Pittsburgh in a little bit. This isn't Pittsburgh's show, by the way.
Well, you jumped to AFC North.
No, you're good.
Would you talk about Pittsburgh?
No,
you're in the North.
You're good. No, I do believe Pittsburgh. I think their defense is a lot better. Let me take that back. Defense was good last year, right? They was good last year. I think the offense is way better this year than what it was last year. I think they're in a better, comfortable zone, especially with Kenny Pickett being at quarterback. And then y'all got
Now you went out and got Sumala. You went out and got Robert Jones.
Absolutely. That's what I'm saying. Like you got some Pickses.
Time to throw, and
not just that. Didn't y'all go?
And Jalen Warren.
That's what I was going to say. Didn't y'all go out? Didn't y'all go out and get another wide receiver from the Rams?
Yeah, Allen Robinson.
Yeah, I mean,
we got.
I mean, he's not
a. We got that, but I'm looking at more
of the young players.
It's more about the protection.
Yeah.
And the running game.
Yeah, because I know me and you was talking about how Pittsburgh should get Brian Branch, but instead they got Joey Porter Jr. And I think you was okay with that pick, but you wasn't okay with that pick.
Joey Porter Jr. The only reason I didn't like that pick was because he can't catch a cold, right?
But he can read defenses though.
Turnovers.
But he can read offenses though.
You have to create turnovers.
That's true.
Had one pick in his college career. One.
Now let me ask you a question.
Do you attribute that to them not throwing to his side? Maybe.
Let me ask you a question though, because his dad was a Pittsburgh legend. Do you think
that was a stud?
Do you think it's going to be a case for him? Do you think he's going to be a Pittsburgh legend?
If he is, it's because of defending passes, not interceptions, right? And then you pretty much get to the Hall of Fame. Look at Deion Sanders, right?
But he was on special teams as well, though.
Yeah, but I'm saying interceptions get you into the Hall.
Yep.
You can defend passes all day.
And then yards after interceptions.
Darrelle Revis, right? Interception.
Yes.
He was a shutdown guy, but because he was picking the ball up too.
Now,
that's what I like about Sauce Gardner, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sauce Gardner will shut you down, and if you dare to throw it in this direction, he's going to pick it.
So do you believe that that Mike Tomlin he can't do you think he can coach Joey Porter Jr. to be the best defensive back in that division and in the league, or do you think?
I don't think you can coach catching. Okay, you can. He can be coached up to be a good defender, yeah. But I mean, if you got hands of brick, regardless, look at Ronaldo Nehemiah. I don't know if you remember him, but he's a world-class speedster, right? And they put him in the NFL as a wide receiver. Yes, he was phenomenal whenever he caught the ball, but he dropped more passes than anything.
Yeah.
He could have been in
I have to agree with you on that.
I like the other picks. I like the Joey Porter pick. I'd much rather have had Gonzalez.
Oh, absolutely.
Because of his speed and how he closes on the ball, and he's just
but here's the thing.
Smart.
But you know what? Y'all did get a big tight end too. So y'all got two good offensive players. Darnell Washington from Georgia, that big tight end. Even though I'm like, college is different from NFL, but I think he's made for pros. His size, I think he's made for pros.
Beast, dude. They're calling him. See, he's going to take a lot of snaps, right? Freiermuth, they'll have some two tight end sets.
Oh, absolutely.
It's taken away from Zach Gentry, but that dude is like having a sixth lineman. right? And he thrives off of blocking.
He could. Well, I was gonna say he can. Block. I've seen highlights. He can block. He can catch. You know, I mean, he can do it all.
He's hurdling players 6'7", and 270 pounds. He's hurdling defenders.
And here's the thing. You know who he reminds me of? And you can laugh, but he kind of reminds me of Tony Gonzalez with his size and his ability to run and catch.
Yeah, what was that tight end that Atlanta guy?
Kyle Pitts from Florida.
Yeah, they're comparing him to Pitts.
I think
comparing him.
And people can laugh at me when I say this, but I think Darnell's gonna be way better than Pitts.
He could be.
Just because coaching
featured tight end there.
Coaching has a lot to do with it.
Not the featured tight end in Pittsburgh.
Not yet, but he will be. And I'm not just saying that. But coaching is going to have a lot to do with it. Quarterback and play style.
Yeah. Well, speaking of the AFC North, did the Browns do anything impactful?
Man, they said doorbell. They said that the Browns did good. I don't know if they did. What is at my door? Sorry, someone rang my doorbell. I don't know. I'm looking here. I'm trying to see what they did. The people they drafted, I have no idea who they are. None. Not even a little bit.
Really?
Yeah.
Nobody jumps out that was a stud in college?
No. I mean, they got a UCLA quarterback in Dorian Thompson-Robinson. I have no idea who that is. I don't know why would you want a quarterback after you had all that money on the sex offender, but I don't know who Cedric Tillman is from Tennessee. Ika, I think it's how you say IKA last name. I don't know who that is. He came from Baylor. So yeah. I don't think they did. They gave them a B, but if it was up to me, I'll give them a C.
I don't know. I don't. None of those names. I mean, if I look at my draft sheet,
I don't know who they are, and most of them can't. Like, see, they picked from 74 all the way down to 190, so they didn't have a lot of picks, but they didn't do great.
Okay, Cleveland. What did Cleveland? And they picked late.
They did. And if you look at the grades, day one they gave him a C, day two gave him an A. Again, I don't know who these players are. And day three they gave him a B plus. I don't think Cleveland did much.
You know what? Cleveland didn't even pick in the first round because of Deshaun Watson.
That's why Houston had those picks. And Houston,
yeah, Cleveland didn't even make a first round pick.
And Houston did really well with those picks. I think Houston might be the franchise of the South, of the AFC South. Sorry, Coach fans, I do apologize. But I mean, looking at the Houston Texans. Speaking of, since we're all talking about Houston Texans, C.J. Stroud, number 2, Will Anderson Jr., number 3, 2 big studs right there, just on top of my head. Not to mention they got Juice Scruggs from Penn State, who's a good center. And then you go down in the list, and it's like receiver, edge, linebacker, offensive guard, wide receiver, and strong safety out of Pittsburgh, Brandon Hill. So I think that team did really well in the draft.
Yeah.
But
you know what? I'm questioning the AFC South, because that's always been a big deal for you for some reason. I'm sure you have Jacksonville winning the South.
Oh, absolutely. I told you that. And I still got Houston. Man, you know, I had Tennessee right there at second, but I'm gonna have to change that. I think I gotta put the Colts there in second.
So you're gonna go with the Colts second.
And the reason why I'm saying that is because the way they did things in the draft. They did really well in the draft. They got the big quarterback they need. Anthony Richardson. I think he's going to do really, really fantastic there. Not to mention they got Josh Downs as a wide receiver. I mean, the list could go on, but those two names, man, alone, those two big studs are just, whew, amazing over there. I don't know what
Downs was one of the guys I was focused on too. If we didn't get,
and I can't believe he fell to 79.
Yeah, but
I can't believe that.
Like that fall when they come into the league, they make noise.
Oh yeah. They
make noise. The only question I have with the coach is coaching.
I have to agree with you. But again, I'm not a Colts fan, but I got some friends as Colts fans. I'm sorry, but I got Jacksonville right there at number one. I think Jacksonville that's their division to lose.
Do you think Jacksonville will win that division by more than 2 games?
They're going to win by at least 4 games. They're going to win out by 4 games.
Okay, so they're not going to come down to the.
Absolutely not, because if you look, if you think about the draft, the team that they went out and they did big things in the draft, real big things to help out Trevor Lawrence. They did really, really well, defensively and offensively.
The Jaguars sweeping anybody in that division?
Yeah, especially Tennessee.
So they're going to sweep Tennessee and maybe Houston?
Oh, no, they're going to sweep Houston. There's no maybe two.
The Colts?
I think them and Colts will split, but they're going to sweep Houston and Tennessee.
And what about the Colts with Houston and Tennessee?
Colts should sweep Houston. Hands down, they should sweep them. Hands down. But, again, on paper, it looks really fantastic for the Colts against Tennessee. They don't mean anything, though. And right now, I think they would split with Houston, and the reason, or with Tennessee, and the reason why I say it was split with Tennessee is because right now Derrick Henry is still there. If he leaves, then hands down, Colts would sweep Tennessee.
So, as of now, Tannehill is still the starting quarterback.
Man, I think he's done. I think he's done. Tennessee.
He's done. Like this is his last season.
No. I think come
season.
Come OTAs, they're going to cut him.
Really?
Yeah. If not, then he won't. If not, he won't start. They got Malik Willis, who could be good, and they got that quarterback from Kentucky, Leaves. Leaves is pretty decent. He has a great arm. His accuracy is
I don't know. I'm not feeling that.
His accuracy needs to work on. He has a good arm. He could throw the ball.
They said he was too cocky in the combine.
He was.
Yeah, he didn't put on.
But here's the thing, though.
Great show either. They said.
But here's the thing, though. I can see being cocky. I can see being cocky, but with being cocky, you got to be the best, right? He's not the best yet. So don't be cocky.
No, he's not the best, but that's why he fell so far in the draft.
And I can't believe Tennessee picked him up.
And he didn't put on a great combine.
I can't believe Tennessee picked him up. I really can't.
Well, I can in a way because they weren't impressed with Malik Willis.
That's true.
And Tannehill is on his way out.
Now, let me ask you a question.
The quarterback this upcoming season.
Okay, so let me ask you a question,
I'm sure they'll probably experiment with the other two.
Derrick Henry, do you think he's done, or do you think this is going to be his last year in Tennessee? They did give him that cold contract here about a year and a half or 2 years ago.
I don't think Derrick Henry is done. Derrick Henry is not accident or injury prone.
But they do got him on trading block. They have him on trading block, though.
They got him on the trading block because they want to go younger.
That's true.
And, I don't know what that offensive line is like out there now.
Yeah.
So you get Derrick Henry behind a good offensive line, and then he gets to that second and third level, forget it, dude. So I think Derrick Henry's probably got about 4 or 5 more years left.
And that's crazy because, usually running backs don't have a long time no more now. Maybe.
Unless he gets a major injury. I'm not saying ACL, but like maybe a knee
Right.
or something like that, then yeah, I think he'll be limited in play. But
So
if they
do
put him on
you?
a trade block, here's Morgan. Now you'll probably agree, and you and I don't see eye to eye on a lot of things. But if they were going to put him on the trading block, they were probably asking too much for him.
Probably.
That's why they didn't get rid of him.
Probably. Because I know when Minnesota put Cook on a trading block, they wanted a first and third round pick. Henry, they probably wanted 2 first round picks and maybe a second round pick. I gotta look that up to make sure I'm right, but I'm pretty sure that's what happened with Henry.
And that's not, you can get a second and third maybe.
I mean, might well get a first and third, because Henry's still Henry. He's still the king of running backs right now.
He is, but he didn't get the rushing title.
No, he didn't, and I think he won't get it this year either. I hate to say it.
No, we won't get it.
I like to see Harris from Pittsburgh get it. I really do. I want to see him get it because he's a monster.
Well, hopefully, but you still got Jacobs. I haven't been tracking Vegas to see if they lost some key offensive line.
Well, I was going to talk about a team, but we can talk about Las Vegas real quick in the draft. What they did, they did pretty decent. They went out and got some defensive players. They got a couple, a wide receiver. They got a tight end, and I don't know why.
They got a tight end because didn't they let Wallen go?
They did.
Where's he at? New Orleans.
New Orleans, I do believe. I got to look that up. But they got this big tight end from Notre Dame, Michael Mayer.
Yeah,
he's good. I've seen him play a couple games. He's really decent. I think he's going to help out Jimmy G.
I think he's more consistent than Waller.
Oh, definitely.
Waller was iffy. He dropped passes.
Yeah,
and he
couldn't block. Yeah,
and then he was hurt. So
I think Las Vegas.
To replace that position.
I think Las Vegas went really, really young. They got Aiden O'Connell from Purdue, the quarterback. They got him. I think because Jimmy G's almost done. Why not go get a decent quarterback to help out?
You think Jimmy G's done? Just about?
Just about, yeah. Just about. Absolutely.
I don't know if did they acquire any offensive linemen in the draft?
They did. They did. They absolutely did. Let's see who they get. They got well, no. I thought they did. I guess not. I'm looking at all defense. They got an edge rush from Texas Tech that Tyree Wilson's pretty good. They got him.
Yeah, they got Tyree, defensive end.
They got Byron Young, a defensive tackle from Alabama. Yeah, they got a lot of no, it was more like defense. And granted, defense wins championships, but I think they should have got a line.
Yeah, they should have got some linemen.
I don't know. I don't know why they didn't. I'm gonna talk about this one team here, and I have no idea why. I just want to because I don't want to be like, oh, this is this is our team this year. We're gonna win, yada yada. The Cowgirls. Everybody talks about how good they're gonna be every single year. They didn't do nothing in the draft. They didn't draft nobody good.
They didn't make any splash draft selections. I don't know.
Even in off season, they didn't.
During the draft, they were kind of quiet.
They was. They didn't do anything. They got a linebacker. They got a tight end, defensive tackle. They got an edge. They got an offensive tackle, a defensive back. And what stands out most to me is a running back, Deuce Vaughn. I can't believe he dropped that far because he's good.
He's good, but I mean, so is that the 1-2 punch in Vegas? No, that's Dallas.
Yeah.
Is that the 1-2 punch in Dallas?
Honestly, here's my thing because I don't think Pollard's going to come back the same. But yeah, I think that would be a good 1-2 punch because Deuce Vaughn, he's more of a third down guy. He can get you 3 to 4 yards though. And then they got Jalen Brooks from South Carolina, wide receiver. He's not great, but he's okay. He's not a great route runner. So I don't know what.
You haven't talked about the New York Giants.
I was going to go there. I just don't know. I mean, I wanted to point out that the Cowboys, this should not be their year, so don't speak on that, people, because they're not going to do anything this year.
If they win a big game, they're going to the Super Bowl. I mean, if they win a game and they, Dak Prescott throws 3 touchdowns, they're going to be Super Bowl bound. Right?
Yeah. But no, but me and you know, we know better. We know Dallas is not a threat. The Giants made some splashes.
Made some splashes,
mainly on defense, though.
Who wins that division?
Hands down, the Giants.
Really?
Yes.
So, Philadelphia, no?
Man, Philadelphia lost too much. And granted, I understand they got fat Ezekiel Elliott. I don't care about him. But they did pick up Swift. But that doesn't mean anything because they lost a lot coming in before the draft, right?
Yeah.
They lost a couple linemen.
Offensive line-wise, they lost some defensive guys.
The offensive line, and a couple of them went to Pittsburgh. So I think the Eagles would be in second place come that division, but I think the Giants going to win that division hands down.
So the pecking order is the Giants.
The Giants, Philadelphia, Cowboys, and then Washington.
You used to be pretty high on Washington all of a sudden.
And I am. But they just don't have. They don't have the talent that they should have. They don't have a quarterback. They got a receiver. They got a running back. Defense is okay because of Chase Young, but they don't have a quarterback. Quarterback is the biggest downfall for any team. You can have
a key piece is it's a key piece in the team. That's your team leader, right?
Oh, absolutely. Because you can have a great line. You can have a great receiver, but you need a quarterback to give that receiver the ball.
Okay, so Trent Dilfer was a great team leader, right?
I think he was.
He stunk.
I was being sarcastic.
That defense kept him afloat.
There's one. So again, so real quick, AFC North. I'm taking Pittsburgh to win the division. Cincinnati's gonna be in second. The AFC South, I'm taking Jacksonville, Colts in second. Let's see.
Okay. No, okay. Go ahead.
And what else is out there? The AFC West. I have to say the Jets. And then Buffalo's going to be in second.
And the West? Come on, man. That's the East.
Oh, the East. My bad. East. The West. The West will have to be. I hate to do this again, but I have to say the Chargers.
I'm going to go with Denver. I'm being sarcastic, but
I was actually going to say Denver in second place.
Really?
Yes, I think Denver will be in second. Chargers.
Over the Raiders?
Yeah.
What?
Because Denver did really well in the draft. They did. They drafted some really good key pieces.
And they got the new head coach.
That's true, and Sean Payton. So yeah, I'm going to say Denver's going to be in second. Let's see what else we got. I think it covers everything: the South, the East, the West, and then NFC. Sorry, NFC South. Man, that's a tough one there.
You got Tampa Bay, don't you?
Hell no. No.
They got Baker Mayfield, man. What are you talking about?
I want to say the Saints, but the Saints just they're iffy. But I'm going with the Saints. I have to say the Saints going to win that division.
I got the Saints probably going second.
And I got Carolina going second.
I got Carolina winning that division.
Okay, I can't argue with that. It's pretty good. It's pretty good.
They finished strong last year.
Absolutely, I agree with you. Okay, and then man, the East, I'm about to go to Giants.
So you're going to Giants first and Philly second.
Yes, absolutely.
You don't think the Cowgirls have a chance?
No, absolutely not. Cowgirls are done. Put a fork in them. They're done.
Okay.
The AFC, the NFC,
I
the NFC
think there'll be a lot
West.
of backlash from Cowboys fans on that.
I don't care what the Cowboys say. I don't. I let them have it. They haven't won. They haven't not won a Super Bowl since what '96. I was 6 years old. Anywho, anywho, I think that with the West, I think it's gonna be the 49ers. Hands down 49ers. And I think Seattle will be in second. The NFC North, yeah. I mean, because no matter what, they're a good team, right? Even though Brock is hurt, they still have Trey Lance, and not to mention they got Sam Donald too over there. So again, they got some good pieces still.
Yeah, they got some good pieces, but
I think they're going that division.
Purdy's got to come back. If he's not ready at the beginning of the season, he needs to come back ASAP.
For them to make it as far as they did, absolutely. I 100% have to agree with you. The NFC North, I can't believe I'm doing this. I got the Lions winning the division.
Well,
sorry, Minnesota fans. I'm a Minnesota fan, but I have to be realistic here. Hands down, the way Detroit's built right now, Detroit's going to win that division.
Well, I'm kind of on the fence. I'm not.
And I got Minnesota. I got Minnesota there in second.
Fan,
but
it all depends on Jared Goff.
But see, here's the thing. Here's the thing, though. You said Jared Goff, but
because they have so much talent.
Kirk Cousins has a lot of talent over there. Jordan Addison, they got him right. But Kirk Cousins has to give them the ball. He can't throw the ball 2 yards short.
Here's the thing with Cousins. Pretty good regular season, postseason.
Chokes.
That's when he's a problem.
Chokes. Look.
That's when he's a problem.
Again, and Jared Goff's been to the he's been to the playoffs with the Rams. He's been there. He's seen it. Again, I think the Lions will win that division. They might win by half a game. I don't know, or a game, but they're not going to win major.
Well, when you look at it, both teams have great head coaches.
Oh, absolutely.
Both have great head coaches. Now, it's the supporting staff.
Well, and here's the thing.
Did pretty damn good last year.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Minnesota is
have more of an edge because Flores.
Yeah, I was going to say Minnesota is bringing Brian Flores in.
So
I guess we'll see what happens in that division. I mean, it's a toss up, but I really feel like
good game. Both games will be good games, and I think
they're going to split.
That's your new rivalry. That's the new.
Yeah, that's a threat. The Packers ain't a threat. The Bears ain't a threat. That's a threat. That is a threat.
That's the new rivalry because, I mean, these are two teams. I think if both teams next year get a quarterback, those two teams will be around for a long time in a competitive role.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Competitive. Now, I'm hoping that Lions Vikings is a primetime game.
Oh man, I can't wait! I can't wait for that schedule to come out, man. Because if that's not a primetime game, I'm gonna throw my phone. I'm gonna break my phone. That's how irritated I will be.
That has to be a Thursday night or a Sunday night or a Monday night.
And it's like if Pittsburgh and the Bengals ain't a primetime game, I'm gonna stab my phone.
Well, everybody's still talking about Ravens Steelers as the biggest rivalry.
No. I think Pittsburgh has Lamar Jackson's numbers. I like to see Cincinnati, because and why I say Cincinnati and Pittsburgh is because Kenny Pickett and Joe Burrow. That's the future of the AFC right there. Both those guys are the future of the AFC.
Well, everybody picked Burrow, right? I mean, they knew he was going to be a stud when he got protection.
Oh, absolutely.
Got some more protection for him.
But here's the thing.
And
the question is, can they keep the team together? Because you have Boyd, you have Higgins, you have Jamar Chase. All those guys want big contracts in a couple of years. Can you keep them all together? That's the question.
No, I don't think so. I think if Boyd and Higgins gets an opportunity to make double what they're making, because you know as well as I do, if they're going to keep those guys, there's going to be a lot of reconstructed contracts.
And Higgins could be a number one. He could be a number one receiver. Boyd, the same thing.
Yeah. So they got to deal with a lot of contracts, and the players don't want to redo their contract.
Now the question is, can they keep Jamar Chase and one of the others? I think there's a big possibility. I think they can keep Chase and maybe Higgins or maybe Boyd. But
all three,
no. It's gonna be a question that everybody has to answer.
Because in the long run, you're gonna have to pay somebody on defense. You're gonna have to pay.
Oh yeah, you need line, because some of those line people ain't gonna last in the NFL long, forever.
No, they'll keep their left tackle for sure.
Oh yeah, the one they got from Kansas City. Oh, absolutely.
They'll keep their left tackle because you got to keep Burrow upright, right? You got to keep him.
Now,
if he can see the right tackle coming, or the defender from his right side, then
he's
he
good.
Can step out of that, right?
Absolutely.
But his blind side,
it's gonna be the key.
That's what. Yeah, that. Everybody knows that.
It's gonna be the key.
If the quarterback can't see, that's a turnover, right? If
Yep.
They're spotting at the ball,
or even an injury like Joe Theismann,
right? Or injury.
So the biggest question I got for you about the Bengals, Joe Mixon, staying or is he done?
I don't know. I think they'll keep him, but Joe Mixon, to us, he's good, but he's not.
He's good, but he's no, but he has a lot of off the field issues going on right now.
Yeah, if they keep him, is it a distraction?
I think it is. I think it's a distraction. Let me ask you a question.
Okay, so if he goes somewhere else, is he a feature back or is he part of a combination?
Man, if I was a team, because you got to think, teams that, like Kareem Hunt, for example, he was a big distraction and he faded off, right? If I was a team,
yeah, he's still out there, but he's not the player he was in Kansas City.
Right. If I was a team, I would watch out, because Joe Mixon, if he's a problem in one place, he might be a problem in another place.
Well, same can be said about Jalen Carter, right?
Where did he go?
Philly.
Philly, that's right. I forgot he went to Philly. Yeah.
And that was why he slid so far down, because of his off the field stuff.
And don't get me wrong, he wasn't on the field. He was okay. He wasn't a number one pick, right? But maybe a number 10, maybe a number 11. But off the field had a lot to do with it. I think he's going to be an issue for Philadelphia.
I do too.
His passing will come back and haunt him.
I like the pick, but what are you getting? Like, what are you getting? He was out of shape for the combine.
Not just that, he's a head case.
So
he killed, and I don't care what people think. I don't care what people say. He intentionally drove drunk and speeding and killed a scout and a teammate. And he's walking freely.
Yeah.
He's a head case.
Yeah, big time.
He reminds me of
he has issues.
I think he's going to pull a Antonio Brown stunt. Walk off the field.
You know what? I don't think he'll be as great as he was in college. And don't get me wrong, he was pretty damn good.
He was good, but he wasn't the best thing that happened, right?
I don't think he'll be,
because I think
same player.
No, I think Will Anderson was way better than he was.
I don't think he'll be that same guy.
No, absolutely not. I have to agree with you. Again, we'll see what happens. Folks, you heard it from me and Holder. We gave you the rundown for the draft. We gave you thoughts about who's going to win the division this year for each division. Also, we talked about the Aaron Rodgers trade. For some odd reason, if you guys want to know anything else, please don't hesitate to reach out to us. You can get us Third Down with Morgan Holder. That's 3RD Down with Morgan Holder at gmail.com. You can look us up on our Twitter. That's Third Down, 3RD Down with Morgan Holder. Our Facebook page. Don't hesitate to contact us on our Facebook page. That's Third Down, 3RD Down with Morgan Holder. Leave us some comments. Subscribe to us on our YouTube channel. That's Third Down with Morgan Holder. I love doing this. I enjoy it. But at the same time, there's things I got to do. And I hate to do it. I got to end the show. We're a little over. Sorry, I do apologize for that. But with that being said, I do apologize for the dog barking in the background earlier. That won't happen again. I'll stay in my other room. But with that, I will stay in my other room. That won't happen again. I should stay upstairs. Just being with shoulder surgery, I like to be comfortable. So I want to be downstairs. With that being said, don't let Vore Down get you.
Finally. Gee. I just want to say congratulations to all teams and all the team fans during the draft. Maybe everybody didn't get what they wanted. That's just the way the cookie crumbles in NFL draft. And I apologize for Morgan's disrespect to Dallas fans. He can be a little on edge at times, but he's competitive like that in the NFC, so you can expect that from time to time. With that being said, I am going to say stay penalty free and please join us next week.